And spawning in the top right-hand corner of torches, we have the American, typically Terran player, but here he is our American Protoss player representing Maturino Esports. It is a Future. Hold on, just fixing up the in-game overlays. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the American, typically Protoss, but now Zerg player. The orange Zerg representing Genesis Gaming. It is PiLiPiLi. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our, apparently, PvZ. Let's go. Oh, we have a Zerg player in the semis. Let's go as we open up with the initial attempted hatch block. But no, Future is in position. He is wise to this and he will force it back. And we throw down the hatchery anyway. Okay, let's go. The hatchery is thrown down. Won't be able to block the expansion, but it has to be respected nonetheless. And ideally does force out a Zealot, does force a reaction out of Future. And the thing here, as we're off racing, and the problem about being in this kind of position here, is that how often has Future encountered proxy hatcheries? How often has he been able to rehearse this kind of scenario here? Again, I'm sure he has laddered as Protoss quite a bit, but laddered on NA. Nah, he probably does this all the time. True. He probably plays against this all the time. He's on NA. Not wrong. Not wrong. Not wrong. As here we go. Zelda's being chronoed as we speak. Does wall up with the Cybercore with a pylon as well. And remember, behind this, PiLiPiLi is expanding, right? He's expanding, taking his gas, going for a later spawning pool. Pili is droning. He's not using this to go for an all-in, just to force a reaction out of his opponent and force some inefficiencies out of Future. That's the goal. As the hatchery is cancelled, drone moves in for a gas steal. Can he steal the gas? Oh! Will he go for it? He tries to, but alas, oh, the probe is in position and the gas steal is denied. Again, it's standard to try to go for the gas steal after the attempted hatch block, but alas, again, Future, he's played PvZ before. He knows. he knows what's going on. He's gone full pro, just back. Yeah. Hey. See in chat, why is PiLi playing Zerg? Why is Future playing Protoss? As I mentioned before, once again, just to reiterate, the players did both agree to off-race for Game 1. They both agreed. They wanted to off-race. They wanted to go full Cheeseadelphia, full NA back, full NA. As the Adept does move out. Gets a drone. Does get one, does get a second drone as, oh, does get two drones already, not bad. Two workers go down. Remember, link speed was delayed, but the Adept should be hunted down here. Gets one more Zergling. Gets two. Takes on two Lings and two drones. Not bad. Behind this is going to be a Stargate follow-up out of Future. Again, everything is slightly delayed just because of the opener, just because of the start. Drone finally goes down. And we'll see where our players take us from here. Now, when it comes to our off races, we have casted Future's Protoss before, I believe. If I remember correctly, yes, we casted a Stray versus Future off race, where Stray played Terran and Future played Protoss. This was like a year ago. I think they off raced in Tenacious Total Tussle, actually. True. That would have been, I guess, the start of the year. Yeah, the start of the year. So we have seen them off race before. For PiLi, though, I don't think I've ever seen a Zerg, so I don't really know kind of what to expect. I don't know what level he's at. Don't know how he compares. From the side of Future, we expect standard play. Speaking of, we do have a surge of Lings amassing. Nice control out of PiLi. Saves one of the Zerglings. Twilight Council follow-up on two bases, by the way. So early Twilight Council, this does look like early Glaives. Assuming there's no Forge. I mean, technically this can lead into charge, I suppose. But gases are being taken. No shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield battery to defend. Stalker is going to go down. At the same time, Oracle gets across the map. Does catch a couple workers. Stalker falls, but there is a warp in. And Future holds. Future does hold at the same time. 3 drone kills across the map. Does pull away and show us the upgrade. What's it going to be? What are we going for? PiLiPiLi going lair first. Does go lair first before any other tech. It is going to be Blink. Gateways are being thrown down. But no Forge. No Forge, no upgrades. A little bit of a shaky opener here. But we're getting there. Likewise, the Oracle still getting more drone kills. 2 more drones. Likewise, building up more gases. I'm assuming Ling into Hydra. I mean, technically, this can go into Spire play, but there's no Roach Horn, right? There's no Roach Horn, there's no Evo Chamber, there's no +1, and there it is. Hydras, not Mutas. So, rushing into Hydra tech. Without even +1 melee. Crazy. Meanwhile, Future, he does not expand. He's going for a massive gateway explosion. 5 more gates on the way, getting to 7. 7 gateways on 2 bases. And he may just commit into an all-in. I mean, this is an all-in. Now moving out. Ideally, Future would have a proxy 8th gateway across the map to reinforce. But Torches may be small enough where he doesn't even need a reinforcement point. Maybe. Oh, ooh, does take a stasis. Does take a stasis in the face. Lings are still in production. Queens are going down. PiLiPiLi, he's in danger here. Oh, comes in for the surround. Stasis goes off once again. Yeah, there's no anti-air. The Oracle does punish. Stalker's moving in, going for the Hydrogen itself. Oh, the Hydrogen is exposed. That's going to be a massive pickup. At the same time, a couple of drones do go down. Lings, they come in for the surround. Here's the recall. He saves everything. He does barely save everything. 1 Stalker has fallen. That was a Stalker earlier that was a part of the wall. So strong response here from Future. And PiLiPiLi has to rebuild. He has to rebuild that Hydrogen here at the natural. There's no upgrade. The upgrade was denied. So no Hydra range, no Hydra speed. Future still committing. Still no expansion, by the way. PiLiPiLi does confirm. There's no base. There is no third. Just Stalker. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. PiLiPiLi's in trouble. We'll lose an expansion. He's got a handful of Hydras. Mainly Zergling. So far, Future controlling well. Okay, Blinks back. Preserve the Stalkers. He will lose 1. 1 Stalker goes down. 2 Stalkers go down. Can he get 3? He can. That was 3 Stalkers. He killed 3 Stalkers. And he lost everything for it. 3 Stalkers for 1. For 77 Lings for 2 Hydras. Boys are being pulled, and PiLiPiLi's being broken. He's being broken here and now. The 2-base all-in will snowball out of control. Hydras are trying to hold their own. But Hydras are so fragile. So fragile, so vulnerable, and the Hydras, they just melt. They just melt against the Stalkers. GG gets called, and Future, he will overwhelm. He will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Future, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very chaotic game. Very, very chaotic. As Future, he did commit. I believe he still stayed on 7 gates, on 7 gateways, and he wasn't quite able to reinforce, but regardless, the control was on point. Again, only losing 4 Stalkers in total, and one of them was earlier in the game as well. So very nice control there by Future. Solid positioning, and unfortunately, without those upgrades, without the Hydra upgrades, I mean, they were a little bit lackluster. Likewise, he had limited Larva. He was forced to spend it all on Lings earlier. But with that GG, well played. Future to take a lead, and now we are jumping into game number 2. And this time, we've got it out of our system. We had some fun in game 1. Now it's time to get serious. Now it's time to embrace our main races here. And when I say get serious, I mean cheese, papi. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be an incorporeal. Game 2 an incorporeal, and we are switching to our main races. Let's go. And this morning, in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have our American Terran player. Now, switching to his off race, no longer Protoss. Feels bad, man. Switching to Terran, representing Majorino Esports. It is a Future. And this morning, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the orange Protoss player. We have the American Protoss, representing Genesis Gaming. It is PiLiPiLi. Here we go. I see in the chat trying to compare MMR. I feel like I don't think there's too much weight behind comparing MMRs when it comes to this level of play, especially when it comes to players that are maybe taking a break from the game and are coming back and they've taken some time off. And it's I would say MMR isn't really reflective too much of their skill. Bearing in mind the future, of course, he just came back. I say just last year. He spent some time in Korea, of course, practicing, getting ready. That was pre-EWC. PiLi also recently coming back as well. I did see someone in the chat talking about how they used to watch PiLi years ago. 100%, right? He used to be a very active streamer back in the day. Then stepped away, retired for a time, but did come back. I want to say a couple of months ago, and is streaming again, like relatively regularly. Relatively. He streams every now and then again, which is nice. Great to see PiLi return. Great to see him back. As we have our double gas opener into a faster factory. So more tech heavy start here at a future. Meanwhile, PiLi going for a standard opener himself. Let's go. And unfortunately, we weren't really able to cast too much PiLi today when it comes to his PvT, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. As earlier, we did cover him versus Geralt in the PvP, which was quite intense. Bearing in mind the future, so far he is the only player to take a series off of Geralt at Cheeseadelphia. But now scouting for the proxy, making sure there is no gateway out on the map. There we go. As we have our tech of choice, going for a Twilight Council opener. If I recall back in the day, PiLi used to have his own like quirky style at times as well. Wouldn't always play standard. Meanwhile, speaking of, we are going for Reactor to Reaper Hellion. Okay, much more aggressive start. With this, Reaper Hellion doesn't really scale too well into a longer game. The goal here should be to get economic damage, whether it's busting together into the natural or splitting up, going for Hellions into the natural and then Reapers into the main. Regardless, an aggressive start here from future. Does rally out. Hallucination does confirm. Confirms no faster tech labs, no faster add-ons. And I believe it did catch a glimpse of the Hellions. Back at home, the shield battery is done. Force fields are available. In total, it's going to be triple Reaper, double Hellion. Does rush in. So far, it does make its way towards the main. Do you have the force field? Oh, it does force field the mineral line. Reapers 8 bust into the main. They get a full scout. But so far, solid defense. So far, probes, they're not going down. That shield battery putting in a lot of work. And the Reapers are going to be cleaned up. They get scouting, but this is an expensive scout for future. As he confirms the tech. The gateways, how many? 3. So 3 gate blink out of PiLi. Oh, nice, very nice force field. Takes down another Reaper. And from here, future, he does pull back, does pull away. Behind this PiLi, he did get eyes on both tech labs, on the starport, on the factory. I mean, this could just be for Raven, of course. We can see future committing into tanks and banshees. And he's pushing. Again, it's not much of an army, but I mean, has a lot of potential. Moving out with his first tank. Banshee gets spotted ahead of time. Nice catch. Remember, no cloak. Here's no cloak. Tank volley going off. Well, he does go off. Meanwhile, shout out to smack his face in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. Look after your face, baby. Look after it. But thanks so much. Thanks so much for subscribing for 2 months. For 2 months. With a 1 month streak here. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. As PiLi, he does catch the tail end of the army. Catching one of the tanks. Very nice. Tank goes down. Future pushing in. Does siege up. But the Banshee's low. And PiLi can surround. Setting up behind the army. Stalkers are moving in. Hallucinations as well. Yeah, baiting out tank shots. Does go for the dive. The tank will go down. Ooh, the Banshee as well. Very nice cleanup. He shuts down Future, and Future, he will lose everything. He does not even get the sentry. Pili, calm down. Very nice cleanup again. Future just overextending, getting a little bit too excited. Pushing out early on with barely an army, and didn't quite respect what Pili had to offer. Remember, he went for a 3-gate opener, considered safe. He had plenty of Stalkers. And thankfully, Pili, he was active on the map. He was able to catch out to that tank. And with that, Pili gains map control. Future is pinned back at home. He does have 2 tanks. Pili dives in. Oh, he's crazy. He does dive in. He gets 1, he gets 2. Barely takes down 2 tanks. The boys are being pulled. Marines don't have Sim. But the surround is brutal. And Pili does beat out a lot of Stalkers. Did reset the tank count. Kai's back, denying a lot of mining time. At the same time, Banshee does get across the map into the mineral line. Ooh, does get surrounded. Yeah, Pili distracted here. Stalkers are cleaned up. And with that, Future defense. Future, he does defend, he does hold. That was 10 Stalkers going down. Expensive losses there for Pili. Back at home, we'll lose 7 probes. Ooh, meanwhile, the Banshee's it's trapped. There's not enough space. Not enough dead space here. The Banshee does go down. Pili holds. Pili, he does hold. He still maintains his 3rd base at least. But doesn't have the worker lead that he otherwise should have. Meanwhile, making a 2nd Warp Prism. Pili. Okay. Getting to a 2nd Prism. With that, he'll have more macro potential. Micro potential, sure, true. Does warp in and going for a split push. Zell drop into the main. And the main army towards the natural. Let's go. I mean, remember, the tank count was reset. No tanks. Yeah, no tanks in position. Now is the time. Future, can he survive this? Bunker will go down. No repair. Drop into the main. Future, he will defend the main. But what about the natural? Yeah, the natural should go down. Boys are pulled away. Does evacuate. And Pili containing Future to 1 base. Does contain. Warping extra Zealots. More Zealots on the way. Future trying to maintain the low ground. And this is what Pili wants. He wants to fight here on the low ground. He commits. Does commit in. Blinks on forward. Gets some medevac. Widow mines they do on Burrow. No friendly fire. Better shots. That's still another 9 SCV kills. And again, the force field is brutal. Future just kind of moves down to low ground. He gets trapped into the main. Pili pulls away. Warp it into the main base, pulling Future apart. The double prism, let's go. Oh no. Future does catch the Immortal, but the Zealots are wreaking havoc in the main. Popping off, denying mining time. Getting a couple of SCV kills. Pili just pulling Future apart. Zealots are still wreaking havoc. Still popping off. Pili, he is running out of Stalkers, unfortunately. He's running out of steam a little bit here. But he just keeps going. Just keeps committing. And behind this gets a 4th. Gets a 4th base, gets another expansion, keeps on probing, taking up into Colossus. He doesn't have to kill, he's done enough. He's done enough damage. And behind this, there's no 3rd CC, right? There's no 3rd base, there's no extra mules, no extra SCVs. I would say that Pili's maybe overextending a little bit here. Trades well. It's okay. Picks up a couple of Marines. Not the most efficient trade, but it's, you know, it's fine. Behind this, he's on 4 bases, drowning in minerals, building up his upgrades. Now, the one thing that I would be concerned by here is that Pili just has to calm down for a moment, has to focus on building up his army, not to overextend. Future's moving out, and I'm hoping that Pili doesn't get caught with the Colossus. This is an expensive scout, or expensive unit to have on the Zelnaga, not gonna lie. Oh. Speaking of. Okay, gets a couple of free shots off. And likewise back at home. Does have a 2nd Colossus. Yeah, Pili, he's fine. He's fine. It's all good, Fat. It's all good. DTs across the map. Turrets are being thrown down, and another Dark Templar warps in. And Future's all in at this point. He's completely all in. He's down to 20 SCVs, barely an economy. It's all or nothing. And there's still a chance. If he can catch out the Colossus on their own, if he can isolate them, if he can force mistakes out of PiLi, then there is a chance. But really, that's what he's relying on. He's relying on PiLi to make some mistakes. I mean, so far, PiLi out of position. Doesn't see the army. The Colossus is on its own, but we're heading into the main. Diving into the main instead. PiLi, he does react in time. Yeah, he's here. He's ready. Yeah, he's ready for it. GG gets call, and PiLiPiLi, he will tie the series 1-1. We have a series. Whew, GG. We do have a series. We have a back and forth. Again, PiLi going for the double prism play, but even before that, winding it back, if you remember, if you recall, Future, he was so assertive initially with Reaper Hellion, which didn't really pay for itself, and he followed that up with Banshee tank production, with really early tank play, really early Banshee production as well, and he rallied everything across the map so quickly, so early on. The goal there was ideally to catch his opponent off guard, catch them maybe being too greedy, maybe being passive, skipping warp-ins. As we saw, PiLi was active with the army instead. He saw the move out and he shut it down. So really nice play there by PiLi to shut down the early tank push, the Banshees, and from there gain momentum and snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. And styling with the double prism. Does style. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have our American Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Match Arena Esports, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can take a lead. It is Future. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Genesis Gaming, tying up the series 1-1. And let's go, making a series out of this. It is PiLiPiLi. Momentum is on his side. Meanwhile, hello. What's going on? As Future does move out with his initial SCV, and he does go for a pseudo proxy Rax. I say pseudo, technically it's on Future's side of the map, but it is, you know, further out, so the rush distance by ground is going to be shorter. I would imagine this is ideal for proxy Reaper, but only with one Rax. No second SCV. Just the one. PiLi does move in. I'm sure that Future, he's going to be hoping that PiLi overreacts. As PiLi, he will come in for the scout, he will confirm that the Rax is missing, and we can see that it's not too committed. Does move in. Does get the scouts. Reaper production's underway. We could maybe try to sneak this SCV into the natural and try to get a bunker up to support the Reaper. Ooh, as PiLi, he does open up Zealots. Okay. Gate into Cybercore into Zealot. This will delay the Nexus. And already Future's getting damage done. PiLi comes in with the rescouts. Yo, we go for the eBay block as well. Okay, so no bunker, just the eBay. And so far, a nice start here from Future. As PiLi's base is going to be even further delayed. Future diving into the main. PiLi, he shouldn't lose too much here. The Stalker has arrived. But it's all about delaying the expansion. Behind this, going for the factory. Ooh, going straight tech lab, by the way. No reactor. Straight into the tech lab. But with this, we can go for early tank production or early cyclone production. More likely. So tech lab is on the way. We don't waste any time with any Hellions or Widow Mines this time. And at least PiLi does get eyes on the tech lab, but doesn't quite confirm what exactly is going on. Starport's on the way. Twilight Council out of PiLi, working towards Blink. Standard opener, or standard tech choice. Maybe a better way of putting it. And I'm curious to see if we go for the early medevac drop or if we go for an add-on swap. Ooh, we have the answer. Add-on swap. Okay. So Cyclone into Tech Lab into an add-on swap. As the starport is going to float in. From here we can commit into Banshee play. Cyclone does get the lock on. Catching out a Stalker. Clutch shield battery. Oh, but there's only so much a shield battery can do. Does need more warp ins. And it is going to be Cloak Banshee. So he commits into Cloak. And again, this is so far unscouted. There is no sentry. No sentry, no hallucination. PiLiPiLi does play safe, though. He does go for the Robo before expanding. So 2-gate blink into the Robo into a safety observer. So very safe play. Which means he will have the tools to defend. There's a chance that the observer is going to be out of position, but of course you can always try to recall it back home if we have the energy for it. Rise Bay is on the way. Going for the double gas before expand. Very safe here. So two base play, 2 base Colossus before the third. I say safe. The downside here, of course, is going to be the economy is going to be lackluster for PiLiPiLi. Banshee into the natural. There are 3 observers. Jesus. 3 observers on the map. Banshee is forced back. Doesn't reveal Cloak yet. Interesting. 1 Banshee is back at home. Sorry, 2 Banshees at home. 1 across the map instead. And he's ready. From here we're building up. 2 more racks is getting up to a 4-rack setup. Just 4 for the time being. Now we haven't really seen a lot of macro from Future today. We have potential to throw in another racks to avoid add-ons and to just commit on 2 bases. Speaking of, another racks is on the way. So he's getting up to a 5-rack setup, if not mistaken. Yeah, getting up to 5 racks. Banshee, they do hit the natural. They can one-shot. 5 probes going down. Let's say 5, 6, 7, 8 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. PiLiPiLi's economy is crippled. That might be enough to trigger Future, by the way. To be like, you know what? I've done enough. Let's just send it back. As he still has to wait for his upgrades. Still waiting for Stim, waiting for combat shields, waiting for the upgrades. And then he can send it. He'll have the option, does he pull the boys or does he get a 3rd CC? I'm leaning towards the boys being pulled, not gonna lie. He's killed 13 probes already. It's a hefty amount of damage. Here comes the unsiege, here comes the push. Still gearing up. Hallucination does somewhat get eyes on the army. Again, PiLiPiLi's trying to figure out as well, like, is he going all in or not? PiLiPiLi trying to piece it all together. The observer has to be careful as there is a Raven with the main army as well. Here we go. Here comes the move out. Scan gets eyes on the observer. Future is pushing. Behind this, just rallying across. And PiLiPiLi, he's in position. He is somewhat ready. He's not able to slow this down ahead of time. Not able to engage. Again, that's going to be 4 tanks. Does blink in. Oh, can he get a tank? Not quite, but he does force a siege. That's what's important here. Does force a siege. Pulls away. Missile goes off. Future does rotate. So does PiLi. PiLi having a hard time keeping up though, and he's zoned away. Yeah, he's just completely zoned away. Tanks do siege. PiLi, he has to commit. No, tank, the Colossus goes down. He loses one, loses both. And that's going to be it. That's going to be game. GG gets called as Future does outposition, and Future, he will take a 2-1 lead. Whew, GG. Again, PiLi, he just wasn't able to buy enough time, wasn't able to slow it down, and likewise, he just wasn't able to stop the rotation towards the left-hand side in between the third and the natural base. And yeah, once Future, he got sieged up, once he got in position, I mean, PiLi, he could not engage. He could not move in. GG. GG, well played with that. Future does take a 2-1 lead here, and we'll see if he can claim the series. We'll see if PiLi can bounce back. But again, it was just really, I want to say overly safe play out of PiLi this game, where he was just refusing to expand. He was staying on 2 bases that much longer, getting into all the observers, getting into the Colossus, which I think would have been okay. But the biggest problem here, remember, he opened up with a faster robo. He had 3 observers, and he still lost 13 drones, or 13 probes. Like, that's the issue here, is that he invested so heavily into being safe, into getting all this detection, into preparing for something like Cloak Banshee, but he still sustained damage. He still lost 13 probes, and that allowed Future to snowball out of control there with that move out, with that push. And with that, he broke through, and GG. GG, we're now getting into Tokamak. And I'm hoping that we can make it to the ace match here, but the pressure is on, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the American Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Matcherino Esports, 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is Future. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Orange Protoss player representing Genesis Gaming. The pressure is on. 1 more loss, he's out. 1 more win, and he can force the ace match. Let's go. It is PiLiPiLi. Bring us to game 5, Bobby. Let's go. So we are going to be opening up, and we'll see how our players do adjust. Again, Future, he did go for a bit of a cheeky build earlier. If you recall, he did go for a fake proxy, and he was able to delay. I mean, in general, PiLi just had a really uncomfortable start and uncomfortable game on lane lines. But this time, the Rax is back at home. This time there is no proxy. This time there is no proxy. PiLi will confirm. Back off, we expand. Is going to be an economic opener this time. Single gas opener out of Future, going for the faster CC. And with that should prompt PiLi to likewise do something similar here to be more economic. Take a faster third, I would hope. And settle in. Of course, it's always dangerous to be greedy or to be economic against Future, just because of how aggressive he typically is. He can be a hard player to read. Like, hey, even last game, you saw the non-stop attempted scouting out of PiLi. He was going for non-stop hallucinations, trying to figure out, is he all in, is he not? Is he coming? Is he defending? So far, once again, Twilight Council. Once again, Twilight Council opener out of PiLi. Meanwhile, Future going for his own 1-1-1 setup. This time, Reactor on the factory. This time, no fast tech lab. Remember, last game, we saw the fast tech lab into add-on swap into fast Cloak Banshee. This time, none of the sort. So now going for the Reactored Hellion. This looks like Reactored Hellion into drop play, into a metamac. This could be for another set of Hellions or into Widow Mines instead. If you recall, this is what Future went for against Geralt, where he went for a quadruple mine drop and he was able to kill 15 probes. It was insane damage. Meanwhile, as we're talking about what PiLi's up to, what Future's up to, PiLi across the map, Not going Blink. I assumed it was going to be a Blink opener. No, Twilight Council into DTs. That cheeky build here by Pili. Hellions are moving out across the map, and we'll see if they can get past the wall. So far, that is a full wall here. Stalker's in position. There's no way in. There's no way in, not yet. There is no Reaper either. Future did skip Reapers, and he's waiting for his medevac, waiting for his drop to scout, to figure out what exactly is going on. So again, there's going to be that quad mine drop. Again, last time we saw this, he killed 15 probes against Geralt. We'll see if Pili does react in time. Prism moves out. Uh-oh. They will pass by each other. Yeah, they do spot each other. They are aware. Future, currently, he has no scan. Ooh, the Hellions, they just run in. The army's out of position. Hellions have run into the main. Shield battery's not ready. And the mine drop does commit. That's what Sin does burrow. Oof, brutal connection. 7 probes going to be going down. And he's still not done. 10 probes going to be falling. Here come the DTs, though. And there is a scan. There is going to be 1 scan available. More probes falling. Oh, the turrets are denied. And he has to take advantage of that scan. There it is. There's the only scan. 1 scan does. He gets a surround. He surrounds the army. He surrounds the DTs. And with that, he will clean everything up. Aye, aye, aye. 1 scan is all he needs. And across the map, he will kill everything. 21 probe kills. Insane damage. There was potential with the Dark Templar, but yeah, GG gets called. 1 scan was all it took. And Future, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the Grand Finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, there was potential with the Dark Templar, but you saw Future kind of lure in the Dark Templar into 1 consolidated area. He got a full surround with the SCVs, and with that, he shut down the Dark Templar. Likewise, across the map, unfortunately, as there was just so much happening at once, Pili, he struggled to defend against the mine drop. He struggled to wall up against the Hellions as well, and everything was on fire. Everything was on fire then and there. GG, well played. Future, he will claim the series, but a shout out to Pili. Shout out to Pili for making a series out of this, for, of course, in a way, stepping out of retirement, competing once again, and taking part and being a part of the community. I think that's like probably the most important part here. And what's amazing about these events is that they're all able to come together, all able to celebrate and enjoy StarCraft together, interact, and yeah, have fun. GG. GG, well played. Pili, he does bow out, but hey, he made it to the semis. So very well done nonetheless. And that leads us into the rest of the bracket. What's been going on? What's been happening?